Well, we're going to do a little experiment this morning, speaking of having fun. So let's all make our way into a plank pose. Okay. Right off the bat. And just find your way into this plank. So, I'd say we're about a minute into this plank. What are we doing here? Good, there you go. So perhaps some alarm bells are starting to go off, right? Maybe the first one was like, wait, plank, we're not even warmed up? I haven't had my coffee. My arms aren't stretched, my shoulders are tight, I might hurt something. The question is, how did you naturally, after all this time of practicing, react to this plank? Right? If we use this physical pose right now as a metaphor for what happens out in the world, the alarm bells start going off. We're thinking about shit constantly. Things are coming at us constantly. Right? The email that you got that you didn't want to get, the email that you have to write, some interaction with a spouse or a family member or a friend, one more person asking you who the fuck you're going to vote for. So what do? You take a breath. So the question is, and what this little morning start here for is to see how fast, how quickly can you train yourself to take a breath and to drop into a space that is perhaps non-reactive by focusing on your breath. Because all day long we're dealing with stress. And a lot of that stress is based on our reaction to a situation. And the longer we stay stressed in a situation, the more that stress is going to manifest itself physically and emotionally in our bodies, leading to all sorts of lovely things as we get older. So, with that in mind, take a deep breath and gently make your way back into child's pose. So this wasn't meant to be any trick, okay, or this wasn't a test. I just wanted to point something out. And really the theme of it is something we've put out there together before. And that's the idea that you don't have to fight every fight. You don't have to react to every situation. but you recognize when you are under some stress, or perhaps when you're creating more stress for yourself than you need to or than you should. And our minds are working and going all the time. So if you give your mind something to feed on, that's what it's going to do. And if you don't know what the Yoga Sutras are, the Yoga Sutras are perhaps our oldest texts of what yoga is, written about 2,000 years ago by a gentleman named Patanjali. Here's the interesting thing about the Yoga Sutras. The first sutra basically says, now I'm going to explain what yoga is. The second sutra, which is the key, spells it right out. Yoga, and I'm paraphrasing, yoga is a practice to basically help stop the mind from fluctuating. And then it goes on to explain how to do that. And you can tell your friends later today that you learned about the sutras. And the interesting thing about the entire book of the Yoga Sutras, not one place in there does it say you need to be flexible to do yoga. Not one place does it say you need to be able to touch your toes or wrap your leg around your head and tickle your ear with your toes. Talks about breathing. Talks about quieting the mind. It talks about making a different choice. So yeah, the next time we see each other in a week from now, we will have all experienced quite a stressful week. But see if you can choose in the moment to take a breath and maybe don't react or don't take the bait when someone or something wants to engage you. Go ahead and spread your fingers wide, extend your arms, press into your palms, tuck your toes under, and begin to gently press yourself up into a downward facing dog. Nice and easy, taking your time. So the more we come to our mats on a consistent basis, even if that's just once a week, the more we get to practice engaging with our breath. And why is there so much emphasis on the breath? Because during a practice like this, it's the easiest thing to focus on, to distract your mind or to keep your mind busy and focused rather than floating off and worrying itself about all the other things that it can worry itself with. So beginning now to breathe deeply and freely and fully, either in and out through the nose or in through the nose and out through the mouth, or if those options aren't available and you want to breathe in and out through the mouth, then do that. Take a nice big deep breath in, lift the tailbone, and as you exhale, just press into the floor a little bit more with your hands. And when you're ready, as you take your next exhale, go ahead and bend the knees, and 1 foot at a time, nice and slowly, begin to walk your feet up towards your hands, coming to forward fold. Just hanging in forward fold, nothing fancy. Releasing the back of your neck, crown of the head falling toward the floor. Take a deep breath in and just sigh it out. And just feel the weight of your head pulling down toward the floor, just opening the spine a little bit. And when you're ready, on an inhale, you're just going to slowly walk your hands up your shins to your knees or thighs, coming up halfway, extending through the spine. And then as you exhale, just fold forward. Plant your hands and begin to walk your feet back, coming back to down dog for just a moment before lowering all the way back down again into child's pose. And maybe before you press back into this child's pose, just take a nice deep breath and then press back, letting all the air, all the breath out, emptying out so you can really sit back into your thighs. And continue to breathe deeply and fully and freely. Now, when you're ready, take a nice big deep breath in. And as you exhale, walk your hands over to the left side. And again, as you breathe in, now you want to think about breathing in between the rib cage. Really filling up. As you exhale, you still want to think about sending your sit bones back towards your heels. Finding length along the right side of the body. Creating and finding some openness in the hips. As you take your next exhale, go ahead and walk your hands back through center all the way over to the right side. Again, breathing deeply into the left side of the body, into the rib cage. And at the end of your exhale, coming back to center. Take another deep breath in, and this time really just sigh it out. Relax your shoulders. Yeah, let your hips relax. And once again, extending the arms out in front of you, press your palms into the floor, tuck your toes under, and again, gently make your way up into downward facing dog. On an inhale, we're going to rise up onto the toes. And exhale, press into the mat, release your heels toward the floor. Big breath out. When you're ready, inhale up onto the toes. And exhale, press back and release. Last one. Inhale high. Really drink in that breath. And then exhale, press back and release. And now maybe we start to refine this a little bit if it feels good. So spread your fingers a little bit and really press down evenly into your palms. Take a deep breath in, lift your tailbone. Now exhale, press into the floor and just send your torso back toward your thighs a little bit more if it feels good. Maybe one more deep breath in. As you exhale, keep pressing into the floor and just try to release your heels just a little bit more, maybe, if it feels good. End of that exhale. Let's bend the knees. You're going to walk your hands back toward your feet, coming to forward fold. Bend your knees, take your time. Just hang in forward fold. On an inhale, we're going to roll halfway up. And as you exhale, just fold forward. Nice and easy, pressing evenly into both feet. On an inhale, begin to slowly roll up through your spine. As you come up to standing, take your time. You're going to raise those arms straight up overhead. Maybe glance up between the palms. And then exhale and slowly fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, fold forward. And once again, on an inhale, pressing into your feet, begin to roll up through the spine. Raise the arms as you come up. Gaze up between the palms. Maybe take a little back bend here. And then exhale all the way forward. Nice and easy. Inhale again. Come halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. Now go ahead and walk your hands out so you're coming to plank. Now just notice maybe how this plank may or may not feel a little different than that opening plank. Maybe take notice of your breath this time through. On an inhale, lift your tailbone. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, raise your left leg straight up behind you. And exhale, just press back into that right heel a little bit. Press into your hands. End of that exhale, float the toes back onto the mat. And on an inhale, your right leg's going to float up behind you. Exhale, release the left heel toward the floor. Keep raising that right leg, press into your hands, and exhale, float the toes onto the mat. Good. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just lower the knees, come onto all fours. Just finding that nice tabletop position, shoulders over the wrists, hips above the knees, on the tops of the feet, if that works for you. And on an inhale, go ahead and raise your left leg, and as you exhale, you're going to sweep that left leg out to the left side, planting the foot, toes facing the front of the room. Engage that thigh, so pull your kneecap up into your thigh, breathing deeply. Keep pressing into the mat, extending up and away from the floor. And if you want, you can play with gently sending your sit bones back towards your heel. Now that's so much fun that on your next inhale, maybe if you're with us, you begin to raise your left hand up off the floor, pressing into your right hand and reaching straight up toward the ceiling with that left hand, and then maybe you gaze up at that left thumb. Deep breaths, nice strong right arm. Stacking the shoulders if that feels good. Spreading the left fingertips nice and wide, reaching up to the ceiling. Feeling that length from your left hand up through the arm and chest all the way up, right hand all the way up through the chest into the left. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and exhale and float your hand down and bring that left knee back under your hip, coming back to your tabletop. And on an inhale, the right leg comes up. And as you exhale, you sweep it out to the side. Strong arms, maybe sending the sit bones back towards your heel a little bit. Finding some length as you activate that right thigh, pulling the kneecap up. And then when you're ready, again, on an inhale, begin to press into your left hand and raise your right arm straight up toward the ceiling. And then maybe you turn and gaze up at that right thumb. And don't forget to breathe. It got real quiet in here all of a sudden. Good. End of your exhale. Everything floats back down onto all fours. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale that left leg up again behind you. And as you exhale, step your foot straight up between your hands, planting the knee right over the ankle. And again, on an inhale, pressing into that left foot, you're going to float up, bringing the arms up with you, relaxing the shoulders, gazing ahead. And when you're ready, you can exhale and bend that front knee slightly. Keep the arms up overhead. Deep breath, relax the shoulders. Right, moving into that right thigh and hip flexor. And when you're ready, just lower the arms down a little bit. Go ahead and interlace your fingers behind the back. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift your wrists up behind the back. Opening your chest toward the front of the room. Exhale, release your hands, shake it out. From here, go ahead and sweep your right foot to the inside of your mat all the way so your shin's parallel with the front of the mat. Left elbow, left knee. On an inhale, that right arm's going to come all the way up and over as you exhale. Either gazing at the side wall, or if it feels okay, you can start to look up toward the ceiling. Either way, you're pressing down into the top of that right foot, rooting down into your right knee, breathing deeply as you open and stretch from the right knee all the way up through that thigh, into your rib cage, and out through the fingertips. End of the exhale, everything floats down. Hands on either side of that front foot. If you have blocks, you may want them, because we're going to walk that front foot forward about 6 inches and then begin to pull back, pulling the toes back, engaging that left thigh so that maybe you're pressing the back of that left knee toward the floor. If your knee's bent, that's fine. Just work on pulling your toes back. And breathing deeply into the entire length of that left leg. Finding length in the left leg. And when you're ready, you can begin to bend that left leg, coming forward, and then sidestep the foot out to the edge of the mat, to the outer edge of your mat. And then walk both hands inside that left knee and begin to slowly lower down either onto the blocks or your forearms or your palms. And when you're ready, pressing yourself back up, coming back onto all fours. Stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Walk your knees back 6 inches, tuck the toes under. Inhale, lift your knees up off the ground. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you. Exhale, float the toes onto the mat. And inhale the left leg up behind you. Exhale, float those toes onto the mat. Deep breath in, lift the tailbone. Exhale, bend the knees, and slowly walk your hands up toward, your feet up toward your hands, coming to forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Raise the arms up. Take a little back bend if that feels good. And then exhale, forward fold. Pull the belly button into the spine as you fold forward. Relax the back of the neck. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Step it back to downward facing dog. Deep, deep breath in. Lift the tailbone. Exhale, press into the hands. Release the heels. End of that exhale, bend the knees and come back down onto all fours. Just taking a moment to set your nice solid tabletop. And on an inhale, the right leg goes up behind us. And as you exhale, you can step that foot up between your hands. Knee over the ankle. Take your time. When you're ready, press into that front foot as you inhale and slowly float up, bringing the arms up with you. Relaxing the shoulders. And as you exhale, maybe you bend that front knee slightly so you can open the left thigh and hip flexor. As you exhale, float the hands down, interlace the fingers behind your back, take a deep breath in, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and exhale, send the knuckles behind you, opening and broadening across the chest. Go ahead and release your hands, shake them out. Inhale the arms up again. This time as you exhale, you're going to bring your right elbow down to your right knee. Sweep the left foot to the inside of the mat. Inhale the left arm up and exhale the arm up and over your ear, either looking at the side wall or maybe turning your gaze a little higher up toward the ceiling. And that left arm is reaching straight out toward the front of the room. Good. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower everything back down, coming back to your tabletop. Oh, sorry, keeping that front knee forward, that right leg forward. Yes, indeed. And then you're going to walk that foot forward about 6 inches, find your blocks, and start to pull the toes back. Again, if you need to have that knee bent a bit, that's fine. Just keep working on pulling the toes back so you still create some length in there. Deep breaths. And maybe with an exhale along the way, you think about pressing the back of that knee toward the floor, maybe. And when you're ready, walking yourself forward, sidestepping that foot out to the edge of the mat, you can bring the hands with the blocks perhaps inside that right foot, and then lowering down onto blocks or your elbows, forearms, wherever you are. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up, coming back onto all fours. Once again, walking the knees back 6 inches, tuck the toes under. Inhale, lift the knees up off the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice big deep breath in, tailbone lifts. Exhale, bend the knees, look to the front of the mat, and gently walk your feet up to come to forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, adding a nice back bend in here. Exhale. Forward fold. Pull the belly into the spine. Cascading down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back. Then your left foot back. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale and plank. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, hold your plank. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. All right, plant the hands. Right foot back. Now drop your back heel onto the floor and begin to walk your hands over to the right, spinning your left toes to face the side wall as well. So you are in a nice wide-legged split facing the side wall over here. You guys keep coming around. Spin your left toes that way. There you go. Keep coming all the way. So you're like in a nice wide-legged split. There you go. Doing all right? Okay. Go to your back at any time, all right? So legs are wide, thighs are engaged. If you need a block under your head, that's totally fine. See if you can widen your heels out a little wider than your toes. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. And with a nice strong back, on an inhale, come all the way up and just shake out your arms. Now on an inhale, raise the arms up. And as you exhale, pull your belly button into your spine as you slowly fold over, pressing into your feet, engaging your thighs. Press into your fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze up slightly, and then exhale, walk your hands over to the left foot. Deep breaths. Take another nice big deep breath in. And as you exhale, walk your hands through center all the way over to the right foot. All right, we're gonna get fancy, like in Twister. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, start to bend your right knee and spin your right toes toward the back of the room or the back of your mat. Keep walking your hands forward so you basically come to a lunge facing the back of the mat. Rock backward, step forward to forward fold. No, you got it. You got it. You had it right. Yeah, you were all good. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. Now inhale again, all the way up through the spine. One breath all the way up. Take the back bend and then exhale, forward fold. Pull the belly button into the spine. Release it all as you come down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands and step your right foot back. Coming to a lunge. Drop your right heel and then keep walking your hands as you spin your left toes toward the sidewall, coming back to a wide-legged split facing this wall. Once again, hands on your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Nice strong back. Exhale, shake out the hands. From here, go ahead and reach your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Take a big deep breath in and begin to squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, nice and slowly begin to fold forward, allowing the hands to come as far up and over the shoulders as they can. Crown of the head falls toward the floor. Deep breath in. Press into your feet. Engage your thighs. Go ahead and release your hands. Crown of the head falls toward the floor. Arms are dangling toward the floor. Now press into your fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest slightly, gaze forward, nice strong flat back. And then exhale, fold forward and walk your hands between your legs behind you. You can spin the hands so the fingertips actually are pulling you closer toward the floor. Walk the hands back right under the head. Take a deep breath in. Begin to bend your right knee and walk your hands over to the right foot and spin your right toes toward the front of your mat, toward the front of the room. Coming back to a lunge. And again, rock backward, step forward to forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Arms come up, gazing up. Take the back bend, exhale, forward fold. Now inhale halfway up and exhale, forward fold. All right. On an inhale, keep the knees bent, drop your tailbone slightly, lift the arms. You're going to come to chair pose. You can lift up a little bit more. Yeah, right there. Good. Deep breaths in chair pose. Relax your shoulders. Keep gazing forward. Now from chair pose, can you shift the weight into your left leg and pick up your right foot? When you're ready, exhale and place the foot back onto the floor. Shift the weight into your right leg, pick up your left foot. Keep breathing. Find a place with your eyes to focus on. Good. When you're ready, place the foot back onto the floor. If you're with us, inhale, stand all the way up. Take the back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands and widen your feet as wide as the mat. Take a deep breath in. And then drop your tailbone and your sit bones all the way down, coming down into a nice deep squat here. Maybe bring the hands in prayer in front of the chest, in between your thighs or your knees. If you need to widen your feet out wider than the mat, that's okay. Just think about releasing your low back, opening your sacrum. And from here, with some grace, see if you can lower all the way down, coming down onto your backs. Go ahead and hug the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. When you're ready, we're going to lower the soles of the feet on the floor so the knees are bent. And we're going to pick up our right foot and place the right ankle behind the left knee, setting up for a figure four just to get one nice little hip opener here. You're going to reach up, take your right hand, thread it through between your legs, and take hold with the left hand. So you can either bring the hands sort of on the hamstring and pull back, or you can take hold of that left knee and pull back. Whatever feels good. Good. Just flex through that right foot. So pull the right toes back towards your knee. And if just simply crossing that ankle behind the knee is enough, then just hang out there for a bit. Or maybe take your right hand and gently press into your right knee. When you're ready, you can go ahead and release everything, extend the legs out, give a gentle bounce of the knees. And when you're ready, bringing the soles of the feet back onto the floor. Left ankle behind the right knee, flex through those toes and make your way into your figure four on this side. And again, if just keeping that ankle behind the knee is enough, then maybe just gently press into the left knee with the left hand. When you're ready, you can gently release everything. Extend the legs out, give a gentle bounce. Open the arms at your sides, palms facing the ceiling. Widen your feet out as wide as the mat. Take a nice big deep breath in. And exhale. Let it all go. Slowly deepen your breath. Using that deep breath to bring your awareness back to your body in this place. You can begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Nice and easy, just gently waking everything back up. Circle the ankles and the wrists and draw the knees into the chest and just gently rock from side to side. And when you're ready, just gently float onto your right sides. Use the hands to press yourself up. Find yourself into an easy seated position, sitting on a blanket or a block or a bolster. If it feels all right, go ahead and close down the eyes. And just take a moment to find that nice neutral spine, so you're not sitting too far back or too far forward or tilting to one side. Have a safe weekend, gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Remember, you don't have to fight every fight or react to every situation. Namaste.
Namaste.